MTV means good money to me, a future for my parents, for my wives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I will have. But I think generally MTV, basically, let's face it, we're an entertainment channel. That is the bottom line. We're here to entertain. So if you want to hear a certain type of music, we have to do our research and play that type of music. At the same time, we realize we're a youth channel. We're never going to run away from that. That's our focus all over the world. So things like AIDS, problems with sex, drug abuse, these things we can address, or rather people like us should address. So we stay with that. But we don't make it too heavy because we are an entertainment channel. We're here to just make sure you have a good time, listen to music, and that's it. Love, peace, harmony, that's the kind of thing we talk about. Then I go and beat up somebody, but that's separate.
Not just thinking of the fashion, but even the morals, the attitude, the way a person thinks, the way, say things. Do you think that influences today's youth, do you think?
I suppose it does to some extent, but see, everybody's an adult in the end. We can't just point fingers at people and say because he saw Rahul Khanna behave like this, he's doing that. There was an ad, if you remember, I won't name the brand, where a boy did a kind of dangerous stunt and somebody died in UP trying it. But now, that's families and adults, they have to realize that they have to take responsibility, not just keep blaming the media and say, you're going to, decide what my son is going to do or is going to become. There is definitely a role we play, but I would say it's not the dominant role. The dominant role ultimately will come from family, from education, from your environment directly. If you're left astray and you sit there with just one TV for the rest of your life, then yeah, that's your only influence. But let's hope that's not the way it is. It's everything.
Do you think kids today can relate better to MTV than to maybe their parents' attitudes or the way?
I think they can narrate to us as an age group. Let's all be honest again. If I was a teacher, probably I'd be able to make a better impact with certain kids than a teacher who's 60 years old and has got a very stylized way of teaching, Here's the lecture. Let's go back to our own years in college. They have a lecture board, they give you notes, you write it down and everybody goes to sleep. That's the honest truth. Then we cram and then we come and give the paper. I think we would be able to talk. We'll talk in our language. I'm not saying you have to use 4-letter words. That's not our language. I just mean we'll talk in this kind of easy way, whatever. Language not being Hindi, French or English or anything. I just mean in a certain way that the young people can express themselves and they'll feel more comfortable to talk to us. Their problems, if they have drug problems, alcohol problems, if they're having peer pressure, if they have problems with sex, if they have problems getting a date, they can at least come and talk to. They can't talk to a 60-year-old guy or a 60-year-old woman if he's a man, if it's a young kid. So I think it's important that we bridge that gap. We can play the part of, I won't say elder brother, but someone who you can relate to, you can talk to. And let's also remember that I personally don't think I'm the kind of person who should sit around telling people what to do,
Do you think MTV will change Indian culture in some way?
Impossible. I'm a student of history, I'm an amateur student of history, and I really believe if you look at India, the formation of India actually happened when in British times we had like North India under the Mughals, and if you go back, the different principalities, etc. India has been a fantastic country where everybody comes in and absorbs. And the moment we get this complex off our shoulder that you are destroying, so let's go back to Sanskritization, or you are destroying, let's go back to Urdu, that's all bullshit, to use a modern phrase. Because what happens is the more we absorb, the more we grow. So we shouldn't say that, say English is a bad influence on us, or say the Mughals were a bad period.